Shedadiya, and I'm the country manager of Google Cloud Employees. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. I'd like to thank Professor Shedadiya for hosting us today in Kuwait University for the first time, and it's my debut event in Kuwait. So thank you so much, Professor Shedadiya. And I also want to thank Sheikh Mishal and Sheikh Abdullah from Khalifa for facilitating and helping us come into Kuwait as Google Cloud. So first of all, I'd like to welcome all students, entrepreneurs, and faculty members here with us today. You have been exclusively selected based on everything that you have accomplished, whether with your own business or even in your Kuwait University performance. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope that today, this fireside chat with our CEO, Thomas Kieran, will add a lot of value to your business, to your aspirations, to your ambitions, and your career. So thank you so much, and I'd like to invite Thomas to join us on stage. It's been a long day from Kuwait, so we really appreciate your support. And I want to remind you to say a few words before we start the fire.
It's a privilege to be here in Kuwait and to start this journey that we embarked on when we had the agreement with K-12, with Sheikh Michel's support and all members of the lines that we work with to form this agreement. For us, it's the first time as Google that we formed a relationship directly with the country. And we are looking at this as a many years journey. We look at it as establishing another home for Google here in Kuwait, where we're bringing not just our technology to a data center here, but also bringing our people so that we can build local skills. And one of the things we've always been very proud of is the work that we do with educational institutions, because the youth always represent the promise of the future. And for us, enabling young people to learn the technology advances and to use them in their work is always the first step in improving the opportunity for people in the future. So it's a privilege to be here, and thank you so much for hosting us in this amazing university and in this beautiful facility.
Thank you, Thomas. So, Thomas, you speak to a lot of the most ambitious entrepreneurs and startups on the world. What emerging technologies or trends do you find particularly interesting that you can share with us today?
When we talk, we work with many startups in many different parts of the world. In virtually every economy, from India to Latin America to here in Kuwait, there are young people with new ideas. One of the things we see is that technology is now globalized. So people have access to technology to be able to build. And we at Google, for instance, we look at our role in the startup ecosystem as bringing the very same technology that sits under Google search is now available to an entrepreneur to build their company. And so in a way, we look at the technology that we're inventing at Google as a foundation not just for our own services, like search or maps or YouTube that many of you use, but we also bring the exact same technology to entrepreneurs to start their company. That is part of our capability that we offer people to build their business on top of a technology foundation that will grow with them. Many entrepreneurs are now building consumer services, consumer internet services, social media platforms, media companies, e-commerce, logistics, and a variety of other companies are being formed around the world, and they use our foundational technology to do that. We are if you look at the founding of Google, it actually took the two founders only 4 months to write the search engine. It took them 3 years to scale it globally. So when you talk to them and ask them, what was the most challenging problem you had? It was I didn't have a cloud platform that could take my search engine and make it work everywhere. The algorithm, meaning the actual software to do the search, they're worked in 4 months. So they have always had the vision also for us to say if there is another company, just like the two of them being formed, can we give them our platform and our technology to help them go global? And that's part of the reason why we are so committed to bringing young people and entrepreneurs on top of our platform.
Thank you. Can you tell us a bit more on how Google can help startups, universities, and other organizations embrace generative AI?
Google's been working on AI for many years, over 20 years actually. We've gone through 4 generations of AI technology. The very first generation was called classification. Classification is where when you search on an image, it says this is an image of a cat and not a dog. It is used to accurately identify things. Categorization was the second phase. Categorization was when I search an image of a cat, but there is no cat images, it shows an image of an animal because it says a cat is a type of animal and not a plant. We then have prediction. Prediction is used by many organizations now to predict health trends, to predict inventory, to predict economy and how GDP is going to grow. And generation is the fourth, revolutionary in AI. Generation is basically where we train a model on a large set of data, and then the model is able to learn that data, and then responding to inputs given as prompts, it can generate different kinds of outputs. It can generate text, it can generate images, it can generate audio, video, and software. So we have this view that, where can generative AI be helpful? Generative AI is being used by many companies now to solve 2 types of problems. One is to create information. For example, we have many organizations using it to create advertising. You can say, hey, I want to see an image of a car, and rather than imagine if you were creating an image of a car, a new car, and you said, I want to see it in Kuwait next to the university. You don't have to fly the car here. You can actually compose the image using an AI model. So it's being used by lots of people to generate and create images, create content, create documents, and so on. The second place it's being used is to automate processes. Automate processes is, for example, we have many financial institutions are using AI models now to receive documents. The computer will actually read the document, for example, a loan. It will read it, assess it, and it can generate a response that says this loan should be approved or not. A human being can then decide if they want to follow the instructions of the computer. We are helping hospitals, for example, we have a program going on with many hospitals where our AI models are assessing various kinds of things. It can read an X-ray and determine if somebody has a cancer tumor. It can write as a nurse. At the end of the day, it can write the instructions on what should be done as a follow-up for the patient. And in each of these roles, it's assisting a doctor. It is not replacing a doctor. It is not replacing a nurse. but it's helping them specify a few things and the model does the rest. So the second one is to automate things. The third one you see in many places where it's being used to change how people interact between a company and its customers. Mercedes-Benz, for example, they said, hey, we have manuals. Nobody ever reads them. When they have a problem with a car, they call the service bureau. So we helped them build something which they're testing in Germany, where we took the manual, ingested it into an AI model. You can now, in the mobile app, ask, my car is having a problem. The app will pop back to you saying, what kind of problem are you having? I've got a red light on the dashboard. I can use my smartphone to take a picture of it. I upload it. The AI model then says, I think it's this kind of problem. I can either help you fix it, or I can book you an appointment at the nearest service dealership. So this is a way of where they're changing the relationship between the company, Mercedes, and its customers. So there are many things that are going on using generative AI, but broadly, if you think about it, it's been used to create content, to automate certain processes and assist people in automation, and lastly, to change the way that companies interact with their customers.
Wonderful, thank you. I think this gives us a lot of reassurance that jobs are not going to be eliminated because of AI, but it will help us have an easier life in our day-to-day jobs. So thank you for that. Is there anything that you want to highlight from Google offerings that will help startups, entrepreneurs, and students in using AI?
So we wanted to help people use AI, but use all the tools that Google's own teams use when they're doing AI. And so we took all of our capability and put it into two products. One called Vertex, which is our AI platform, and it's designed for software engineers. And a second called Kuwait, which is designed for end users. What Vertex does is it allows you to build an application. So today, if you listen to a music system like Spotify, they have an AI DJ. A DJ that's playing music for you, but it's not really a human being, it's an AI system. And it learns by listening to what you like, and then build a personalized playlist for you. So they used Vertex to build this AI DJ. And what Vertex gives you is the choice of the model that you want to use. It gives you the ability to tune or adjust the model. It gives you services that you need to get high-quality results from the model. For example, if you use the model and if you read the press, models are known to do something called hallucination, where they make up stuff that's not real. So we have this service called grounding that lets you compare the output of the model to actual data to see is it generating a factual response. We also have many people in the music industry, in universities say, hey, how do I detect if some data was written by a human being or generated by a model? Many scientists try to call us saying, are we going to see scientific papers that's generated by models and we don't know if a human being actually did the work? So they introduced a feature which is available in Vertex called digital watermarking, where any output from a model can be watermarked, and human beings can't, no matter which technology you use, you cannot change the watermark. So you know if it was generated by a model or not, and then you can handle it appropriately. So Vertex gives you all the tools to build and use models. Duet was slightly different. What we saw was when people use our collaboration tools, if you think of a person who's writing email, what they would love to have is somebody who can write the email for them. Where they can say, I want to send a note to Thomas about this, but then somebody will write the email for them. If you're using a word processor, what people say is, I don't write as well, can I have an auto write for me? Where I can give you the things I want to say, and then the model will generate it. If you are late for a video conference, you would love for something to record what's been happening, create a summary and tell you here's what's been discussed so far, so that you can catch up to the meeting, because you're always like, I'm late, I don't know what was already discussed. So that is essentially having a meeting assistant participate in the meeting and help you, but a digital meeting assistant doing it. So we've taken each of these and built a digital persona. Someone who can write, a graphics artist, for those who, if you use slides, and you want to create beautiful pictures. Most people tell us, yeah, I'm not very good at drawing. Can you have something where I can say what I want and it will create the image for me? Can I have something that can meetings and catch me up? So these different services we built into our collaboration tools. And we allow you to collaborate with it in real time, so we call it Kuwait. So we've taken all of our generative AI tools and exposed it either through Vertex for software engineers to build applications with, or for end users through Kuwait.
Okay. This is a perfect segue to our next part of the presentation, which is a demo. We'll have a seat here and enjoy one of our colleagues demoing generative AI using Google technologies. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shema. So imagine you are a student who just graduated from high school and you would like to apply to study at Kuwait University. However, before you can submit an application, you would like to know more about the university, and also you would like to know about the admission process and the requirements. Now you can go online, search for information, look through multiple pages, trying to find the information that's relevant to you. Maybe you can also drive to one of the university offices and meet an admission officer and ask all your questions. Both are fine, but as you can imagine, it takes time and it's not the most effective way. Now, what if there is another way? What if you can find all the information you need online while you can have the same personalized experience that you would have by talking to an admission officer? Let me introduce you today to the AI admission officer of Kuwait University. It's built by Google Vertex AI and powered by Google Generative AI. Let's talk to it together and ask it some few questions. So as we are, very polite people, we will start by saying hi to the AI. By the way, the demo is in Arabic. So it replies back and says how it can help us. So the next thing as a student, as I mentioned in the beginning, I just want to know some general information about Kuwait University. Like I would like to ask when the university was founded, some historical information. So I will go to my AI admission officer. I will say when was Kuwait University founded? And it's telling me it was in 1966. Quite a long history for the university. The second thing which I'm interested in as a student is I would like to know if Kuwait University is a public university or a private university. Because for me as a student, maybe I'm worried about paying some extra fees and so on. So I will ask my AI admission officer if Kuwait University is a public one or a private one. And by the way, if you have noticed, I made a typo in my prompt, but the AI was still able to understand my question. So I wrote Kuwait with B instead of with Ya, but the AI had no problem with that, still can understand my question. Now the next question that I would like to know is, what kind of faculties are available at the university? I want to know what I would like to study. So I will go to my AI admission officer and ask them again in Arabic. This time, if you have noticed, I'm using a dialect. I'm not using standard Arabic, but still, my AI was smart enough to understand my question and give me a list of all faculties available at Kuwait University. Now, personally, I would like to study petroleum engineering, and that's why, as a student, I want to know what is the grade that is needed to be accepted in the faculty of petroleum engineering. So I will ask my AI admission officer again, what is the minimum high school grade that I need to apply to the petroleum engineering faculty, and it's telling me it's 80%. So now I know what is the minimum grade that I need, and if I know I have enough, I have the required grade, then the next question from my side now, what about the requirements? How can I fulfill the admission requirements at the university? So my next question will be, what are the admission requirements at Kuwait University? Because this is very important for me as a student to start my application. It's taking a bit because it's a long answer, so it gave me a very detailed answer on all the requirements that I need to be admitted at Kuwait University. Still the general ones, but it's a long list that I need to provide. It even told me what are the documents that I need when I submit my application to Kuwait University. Now I have asked all the questions which are related to Kuwait University, but I'm a new student who just graduated from high school, and I'm a bit worried about studying at the university. So my next question is not relevant to Kuwait University, a general one, which is what's the difference between studying in a school and studying at the university? And let's see if our AI still able to answer this question, which, as I said, is not really specific to Kuwait University. So I'm gonna ask the question, what's the difference between studying at a university and at a high school or just a school? And it gave me a nice answer about the difference and what are the difficulties that I might face by going to university in comparison to school. So we can see how powerful this AI admission officer. It can answer questions about Kuwait University, but it can also answer any questions which are not related directly to Kuwait University to help me as a student to smooth my journey into becoming a university student. Thank you very much. This is the end of my presentation. Back to Thomas and Shayma.
So next, Thomas, I wanted to ask you, looking forward, how do you expect the technical landscape to shift? And what is Google Cloud investing in over the next couple of years? What can you tell us?
We're always investing over a 10, 20-year horizon. If you look at just our AI work, we started in 2004. And if you go back and read the articles in scientific journals at that time, AI was considered dead because AI had grown in 1970 and 80, but had not really been successful because there was not enough computational power. So most of our work is done over a 10, 12, 20-year horizon. And so when we look at it, we're focused in 5 primary areas. The first one was technology modernization. And the idea there was make it easy for startups, corporate entities to get access to very high performance computation, storage, networking, without requiring everybody to have to be an expert in running and managing data centers. The second step was the second big area of investment for us is data is increasingly the most important thing. The way that people discover new scientific discoveries, the way that people are creating medicines, the way that people run simulations of whether a car is wind efficient or not, the way they're designing products, increasingly is using data and building simulations on top of it. So the second big area of investment for us is around data analysis and data processing. The third, once data becomes more widespread And software is now becoming a key part of every industry. Years ago, an automobile was considered basically a mechanical device. Now there's so much electronics inside cars, they're almost like a mini computer running on wheels. And so when you have a lot of software, you also have a lot of cybersecurity threats. And so we are building a variety of systems and tools to both protect, but also to detect cyber threats and to help resolve them. That's the third big area of investment. The fourth one is really commercializing AI. We do see that AI is now at a point where it can be used not just by data science professionals, but in every application and by every end user. We have built a lot of capability to advance the frontiers of AI, and you will see us continue to do that. Today's AI models have evolved, as I said, to have 4 generations of skills: classification, categorization, prediction, generation. We're working on some additional skills, for example, reasoning. Why do we say reasoning? If an AI system is asked, is 2 plus 2 equal to 4? Today, the AI systems don't have reasoning skills. So they'll say, well, the internet says it's 4. But you say, why is it 4? And it says, I don't know. I think it's because the internet says it's 4. Reasoning is where you can do mathematical skills, so we're working on that. And then planning is beyond that. Planning is the next skill beyond that. And planning is used, for example, in a very simple scenario. I want to plan a trip to Kuwait. I need to have flights, I need to have a hotel, I need all of these things. Create a plan for me that includes all those things. That requires additional skills that AI systems don't have. So we're also pushing forward the frontiers of this. And every time we take a step forward, we're working on also simplifying it. And part of the reason why we brought AI into our collaboration tools is to make it easy for people to use AI as part of everything they do. If they're writing a letter, if they're writing an email, if they're creating slides. And just to give you a sense of the scale of it, today we use Gmail or Google Docs. People are using our AI system 500 million times every day, every single day. And it's because we've made it so easy, they don't realize that they're really using AI. And our goal is to also, in our collaboration tools, bring AI capabilities so that it's extremely easy for people to use. So these are the big areas of investment. We're working on some other longer-term things like quantum computing. We have done some foundational work on that, and we've seen interest in pharmaceutical, automotive design. A number of industries now starting to do that. We're working in some areas, for example, digital currencies. Some governments have asked us to help them think through how would you implement more modern, robust digital currencies. There are also other areas in which we're working on a long-term basis. Okay.
So, Thomas, you know that today we have a lot of students that probably aspire to become entrepreneurs in the future. And then we also have entrepreneurs from e-commerce, businesses, F&B, fintech, different industries, different verticals. What would your advice be to them in terms of those startups investing in generative AI? Where should they start?
We've always said that the best way to think of where best to use generative AI as any company, including a startup, is to find something that either you're going to improve the way you serve your customer, or that you're making your organization more efficient. So improve the way that you can serve customers. I gave you the example of Mercedes, but there are many, many companies doing this. Carrefour in France has built a retail shopper where you can have a concierge, but a digital concierge help you buy things. IKEA is working with us on a furniture design where you can say, hey, I'd like to buy the best sofa for my living room, you can upload a picture of it and it will pick the sofa for you. Because they have taken all their software design, their interior design expertise and created digital agent out of it. So if you think about it, in every role, whether you're a nurse taking care of a patient, you are a doctor talking to a patient, you are a furniture store like IKEA selling furniture, you can think about someone who can assist a customer. And you can create a digital agent that assists customers, and that will help you improve and differentiate your business against everybody else's. There are many, many places, international, intercontinental hotels, they've come up with a new digital concierge where when you arrive from your flight, you can get a digital key for your room sent to your smartphone, and you don't have to wait in line at the check-in counter at a hotel. And they say people are really thrilled because they can go straight to their room and go to sleep if they want to. So these are all things. So one is on the customer side. The second is making it more efficient as a company, because then you can scale your business a lot better. And more efficient internally, for example. We have many startups using our AI model, for example, to write software code. AI models, you saw speaking Arabic and answering questions. Programming languages are actually much easier than human language. Because programming language, for example, doesn't have to care about gender, there is no slang, there's many things that make programming languages much simpler. So many startups are using the tools to write code. And why do they do that? They can be more efficient. They can also use this if they don't have enough software engineers. So they can be more efficient that way. There are people in startups who are using these tools to improve the way that they do protect their own systems from cyber attacks. Because most startups, if they get successful, typically are the first thing that cyber attackers attack, because startups typically don't have the resources to build a very strong cyber defense system. And so some of these AI tools can actually help you check if you've configured your system to be secure from cyber threats. So there are many, many things like that that you can use these tools for internally within your startup, let alone to reach customers in new ways.
Thank you so much. Now we move to our next demo, which is on also generative AI using our Google technologies.
All right, I'm very excited to talk to you about how we're building generative AI into all of our workspace products. We call it Duet AI, and it's designed to help you get things done faster and reach better outcomes more quickly. We're going to spend some time looking at a day in the life of Quinn. She's a marketing manager at Symbol, a fair trade coffee manufacturing company, and she leads a global team that's currently responsible for the company's biggest product expansion. As Quinn begins her day, she opens her inbox and sees that Duet AI has summarized a lengthy email thread that came in overnight from the team in Europe, helping her catch up quickly. Within seconds, Quinn is able to see that Symbol's biggest competitor might be first to market with a new coffee line in South America. That is, unless Quinn can find a way to accelerate Symbol's launch. She needs to quickly figure out what action items have already been identified, and Duet AI is already on it. It suggested a list of action items to help, and instead of wasting valuable time figuring out what needs to get done across the team, with Duet AI, Quinn can focus on getting to work. So next, Quinn asks Duet AI to help her write a detailed reply, distributing those key action items across her team. She hits enter and let's see what comes back. Just what Quinn was looking for. She sends that email to her team, and now she needs to get to work because that sales training isn't going to happen by itself. But what if it could? The marketing team in the US created a presentation for the initial release of the coffee line. But the South American markets are unique, and the customers have different tastes. So Quinn opens her slide presentation, selects the slide she wants to edit, and simply types what she's looking for in a prompt. And bam, Quinn can hardly believe how polished the new slide looks. And it was created with just a few words, almost like magic. But she needs to make the image on this slide feel relevant for her audience. So she asks Duet AI to generate an image of a coffee field with a Brazilian flag blowing in the wind. Duet AI suggests 4 options, and the first one looks great to Quinn. She looks at the newly created slide, and she's thrilled to see that the generated text, images, and speaker notes are exactly the same thing that she would have created herself, except it's happened much more quickly. So now she can focus on delivering the sales training. She joins a Google Meet with the South American sales team and jumps online to start briefing them on the sales process. One of the sales leaders in Brazil asks a pricing question in Portuguese, which is a language that Quinn doesn't speak. But that's no longer a problem because Duet AI automatically translates it into English in real time and translates Quinn's answer back into Portuguese. Meanwhile, Duet AI has been summarizing the meeting, taking note of action items for those people who joined late or were busy multitasking. At the end of the call, Duet AI can also send out a summary with action items, helping Quinn accomplish in seconds what would have taken her 30 minutes in the past. Now that the sales team is trained, it's time to create a blog post announcing the new product line to customers. But creating a well-crafted blog post, localized across regions and languages, is a time-consuming process. Quinn asks Duet AI to draft a new post based on a previous blog post for the American market and incorporating in a customer story. And with just a few words, Duet AI created a solid draft, including that customer quote, completing, again, in seconds, what would have taken Quinn hours in the past. And just like that, together with Duet AI, Quinn was able to accelerate the product launch in South America, stay ahead of the competition, and capitalize on the massive market opportunity that lies ahead. The level of speed, efficiency, and personalization that we've just seen simply wasn't possible just a few months ago. And with that, I'd like to turn back to Thomas and Shayna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Maddie. One question, Thomas. We're wrapping up the day at Kuwait University. It's been a wonderful visit, seeing faculty, presidents of Kuwait University, and executives of the university. What advice do you have for young students and entrepreneurs in Kuwait?
I personally believe that technology is now available to everybody in the world, and so you should set your ambitions as high as possible. If you're creating a company, have a dream to build a great company for Kuwait, but from Kuwait to serve the whole world. That's the beauty of startups. That startups can be formed in any country. And because most startups are now built on the same, what we showed you just now is the same models, the same AI that sits inside Google Search. We have now used it inside our collaboration tools, but through Vertex, we're also making it available to everyone. And so any startup can be found on the same technology platform that Google's own engineers are using. And we are doing that because we want you to dream big, and we want you to build great companies and stops you from going global now, because the technology platform runs in many, many countries, and you can take your idea global. And so I always say, you have such an amazing institution. Kuwait is a country that both has amazing resources like this university, but also the benefit of having so many young people. And young people are the ones who create great new ideas, because you don't think of limitations the way that some of the my generation does. And so we want to give you access to this technology so you can build the companies of the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Thomas. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank again Professor Shedadiya and the Kuwait University for hosting us today. It's been a wonderful visit, and I'm sure that this is only the first of many to come. And
well, I would like to express my sincere pleasure to stop by at the university and share the wonderful ideas and the future investment in generative AI. This morning we've been blessed to our students to share some ideas and common collaborations with Kuwait University. We discussed several things that university, and we just would like to highlight that one of our strategic plan and objectives honestly is focusing on innovations in artificial intelligence as well as cyber security. This opportunity that you selected for university, it's our we appreciate that. And also at the end, we would like to have like roadmap, okay, to see all these ideas and hopes to be implemented in reality. So, Kuwait University, with its like capability, capacity, experts in IT, our entrepreneurs, as well as our students also, they are welcoming you and the collaborations, inshallah, in the near future. On behalf of Kuwait faculty of Kuwait University, faculty members, employees, as well as our students, we appreciate your visit, and we hope this is the first and it will continue